I identify as pizza ambivalent, you know?
Yeah, that's fair.
That's fair.
That's fair.
But if you put barbecue sauce on a pizza,
You're a monster.
You're a monster.
Pineapple,
Brilliant. Genius.
great, especially with chicken.
Yeah.
Actually,
I don't get people who moan about that,
Right.
but don't moan about barbecue sauce on pizza. I don't get it. I don't get it.
it's like, me neither. It's Italy would never.
Italy would never.
It's Fume Chat, yeah, Fume Chat with Thomas and Nick. We talk perfume and fragrance with humor and wit. From Chanel number 5 to Angel and more. We're covering the famous scents that you're looking for. It's time for some fragrances. It's time to start the show. It's Fume
Hello
Chat.
and welcome to Fume Chat. I am Thomas Dunkley, once again doing the intro because Nick doesn't want to.
Not that I don't want to. It's that I'll fuck it up. So hi, I'm Nick Gilbert.
And we are Fume Chat, hosts, podcast, fragrance.
Podcast. La 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 la.
Ah, yeah, you
We're
get it. You get it.
here.
Hello. I am going to apologise in advance that I have a pug on my lap. Pugsley is here. I know Pugsley has lots of fans, so say hi to everybody, Pugsley. He has a tendency, we call this the witching hour at home when we record, well, just at this time, but we are recording at the time that would be the witching hour, where Pugsley, he becomes a dickhead and he scratches at the door, doesn't want to go out, but does want to go out, and he just is annoying. So I love him dearly, and so he sat on my lap.
On one's lap.
Yes, so that he can not be a dickhead.
Yeah.
And you might hear him breathing because he's a pug, and that's something
And that's
he
something that
struggles
they
to
do.
do.
they do have that problem.
Yeah.
Bless him.
So what are we talking about today, Nick?
Smoke.
Smoke.
That's it.
That's smoke. I don't think we normally have like a pithy lead in, don't we? We're like,
Yeah.
but no.
But no, I'm not pithy right now.
No, the world is on fire and it's all terrible. Let's talk about smoke. Smoke comes from fire. Where there is smoke, there is fire.
Absolutely. There we
Or-
go. That's a good one.
That's a
That'll
good
have
one.
to do it.
That'll do it. Smoke. I'm kind of intrigued to talk about smoke because it's probably like my least favorite thing in fragrance.
Yeah,
But there
kind
are-
of, but no.
Yeah,
Also?
yeah. I kind of like thought. So what I find I don't like about smoke is it can be quite dry, quite arid, quite leathery, and as we know, I have a leather problem that I can't get enough. No, not that I don't particularly like leathery things, but also there has been a good chunk of time where there's lots of shit niche brands launching shit smoky fragrances, and I feel like I smell a niche fragrance from some brand that I've never heard of before, and it's just some smoky leather thing, and it's like I've smelled this 100 million times.
Yeah, because they've overdosed basically Cade or birch tar, and that's it.
That's it. That is it. And that's
Yeah.
why we want to do this episode, because we're both not massive fans of smoke.
No, but then there are some smoky fragrances where like, oh, that's ever so good.
That's ever so good. So what we want to say is we want to cut through the smoke.
Oh,
Yeah. It's
good, this one.
It's good. So we want to clear the fog and the smoke so you can see beautiful fragrances with the facet of smoke. Pause for little jingle thing.
there's no jingle.
I have a little jingle thing where you go like, it goes like, it's Fume Chat.
Oh,
Fume Chat,
yeah.
here we
That's
go.
true. That's
We'll
true.
pause for that. No, you can't pause if you're laughing.
You can.
Okay.
It's Fume Chat, yeah, Fume Chat. Here we go.
And we're back. Wasn't that fun, Nick?
It was great. It's full
great.
of adverts.
Full of adverts. Yeah.
As it is on every other
Yeah.
podcast.
And just let you know, we do have a code for a Casper mattress. We don't.
I mean, if they're gonna give us that Casper money and a free mattress, I will put it in.
I literally would. I would put three adverts in. I would have a mattress in every room. I would be the princess and the page sitting on
Just
six
three on stacked up.
stacked up.
I can feel it.
Because I am a queen, I can feel the pee. Someone has peed in this bed.
Again.
So let's talk about smoky fragrances, and let's do that by smelling some materials that add smokiness to a fragrance. So Nick,
Yes.
how do we make a fragrance smoky? Do we set it on fire? Would that be
Yes.
a bad idea?
That's about it.
Okay.
That's what we do.
It's like a flaming sambuca.
It's a flaming sambuca. You just go, oh, here's a bit of fire. We're done.
I once had a
no.
boyfriend, right, who did a flaming sambuca, but he put his hand over the top of it to stop the flame.
And
but
then burned his hand.
yeah, he had like a circular burn on his hand, which scarred him. Which, he was stupid, and we were dated for about 9 months.
After that.
I don't remember wherein it was. That was.
Because at
life
that
is-
point in time, I'm going to go, Oh.
My life is a series of bad choices. That was probably one of my worst. But alas to say, that relationship did not last. I think his burn and his
Reader,
scar
I
probably
married
did.
him.
It's not Nigel. Nigel does not drink.
And also would not be that stupid.
But he is an arsonist. He's not. Because if you've met Nigel, he's like the least arsony person.
Absolutely.
You look at him and go, he'll never do an arson.
Of anyone that might do an arson.
Not
him.
Nigel.
Not
Not
Nigel.
Nigel.
Not
Not
Nigel. No, not Nigel.
So yes, smokiness.
Yeah. So
what is it?
there are lots of different things that you can do. You could use certain molecules like IBQ or isobutylquinoline if you want to give it its full name, which has a wonderful smoky character, kind of leathery. Or there's some gorgeous naturals that have a really great smoky character. So birch tar is one of those, and it's kind of typically used in old leathery accords. This is diluted at 10%, and it's still going to be like knock your socks off strong.
Okay.
Because 10% is actually quite a lot.
Okay.
So this is barbecues.
Yeah, it's a bit bacony.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a sweetish smoke, I would
Mm-hmm.
say, kind of like you've glazed whatever you're smoking with a little bit of whiskey, maybe.
Yeah.
I actually quite like that.
I like birch tar.
Mm.
Because it's got this kind of like burned, peaty, oaky, sort of like whiskey-ish vibe going on. And it really feels like, especially like an aged whiskey.
Yeah, totally.
me.
Yeah, because you've got a bit of the barrel in there.
Yeah,
haven't you?
exactly. Which is what I really like about it. And of course, birch was eaten by beavers, which secreted it in their like castoreum, right? So the secretion that they produce, which is why it was kind of used in leather accords and alongside castoreum back in the day. So you can basically get away with it.
That is a fascinating fact.
Science fact about beavers.
Yeah, there's no jingle for that.
There's no.
Sorry, we have.
I'm gonna make one. Science fact. There we go.
I'm gonna cut that
And use it.
and use it. That is going in. Yeah, I like this. This is nice.
Yeah, it's nice. And I don't feel like it's too intense.
It's a bit of the Lapsang Souchong, isn't it?
It is a bit of the lap
That,
thing,
yeah.
Shong.
It is a little bit that smoky element of black tea,
Yeah.
of smoked black tea, that is,
Yeah.
as in Lapsang Souchong, which I love to drink actually with milk, which is probably...
That's sacrilegious, one believes.
No, I like it with a bit of milk and a tiny bit of sugar.
Oh my. That's giving for trouble.
I am.
That's giving for trouble. China's coming for you. They're going to go, not with ours. Not with ours.
You'll be just banned from buying tea.
You could also have used Gaiac wood, which is quite sort of smoky.
Yeah.
But now there are supply issues with Gaiac wood. It's been overfarmed, not sustainable, So
Which I imagine is causing lots of issues because people use it quite extensively.
Yeah. So like Gaiac wood's gone.
Okay.
Effectively. So probably for...
And Gaiac is a bit more like hammy, I think.
I feel like it's very frazzles.
Yeah.
Frazzles and caramel.
Yeah. Which
and
actually would be
smoke.
quite nice.
Frazzles and caramel's a great smell.
Yeah.
Like,
Because that's the thing
sounds
about...
like a lunchbox at school. Got my Cadbury's caramel and a
Yeah.
pack of Frazzles.
Oh yeah.
And my yogurt and my jam sandwich because I wouldn't eat meat in a sandwich when I was a child.
And my little carton of Umbongo. Do you remember when they launched a different version of Umbongo and it was called Muognob?
What?
I'm sure this is a thing.
Okay.
They released a different like version of it with different fruits, and it was Umbongo backwards, and it was called Muognob. I'm sure. I'm sure that's the thing. I'm googling it now because I don't want to sound like an idiot.
Was it real? Did you dream it?
Oh, they called it Ognob, not Muognob.
Oh. Well, it's very hard to say.
But I think Muognob's better. Anyway, back to what we were meant
That's
to be
what we were talking about. So another material that you can use to get that smoky effect is cade.
Okay.
Now this is much more bonfire-y to me. And like charred woods and charcoal. This is at 1%, so much less concentrated, but still just like it knocks my socks off. I found it so powerful.
Yeah. This is a bit more the smell of your clothes if you've been stood near a bonfire.
Yeah,
and then you
yeah.
come away from it and you're like, oh, for God, I reek, you know.
Yes. Oh.
It's a bit richer. It's darker. It's not got the sweetness.
No, you haven't got any of the kind of like whiskey barrel earthiness that
No.
you would get in the I was gonna say bouleau, birch tar. Bouleau is the French word. I was reading it off photo. It's not the boulot. Yeah, I'm not crazy about Cade, and I always find that it's really difficult to use without overdosing.
Yeah.
Because it's just such an impactful smell.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, absolutely.
I don't understand how it takes up so much space. I find it a little bit choky.
Yeah, it's like embers. It's really, Okay.
But I do love the smell of fire.
Yeah, and you can see how these things can kind of be pieced together to create a smoke effect.
Yes.
So, smoky fragrances, actually, we've got a selection here that we wanted to talk about, Sam.
Put that in a bag, actually. But to get rid of the...
Yeah, to get rid of the smell. So, with smoky fragrances, the reason we want to talk about it now is because it's kind of at the end of autumn and moving into winter, and that's when these things really come alive, I find.
Oh, they just work better in the cold.
Yeah, so they work better in the cold. So, we've picked a little selection of some interesting smoky fragrances. I think we have 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we'll start with whatever. I don't really mind, Nick. Go for whatever. They're all kind of different. Show smoky in different ways. And then we're going to end on something new that's kind of really interesting smoky.
Yes. Well, then, shall I start here?
Yeah, start
Okay,
there.
well, let's start here. So this is one of my personal favourite smoke fragrances, which is Two Man by Comme des Garçons. I can't find the spray a bit. Oh, goodness me. That's good. So it's basically...
It's always good, this.
It's always great. Good. It's like mahogany floors and burning incense.
Yeah.
So the smoke here is that kind of like white perfumed smoke that you would get when you're burning incense. It's not the sort of like KD, like dark smoke. It feels like white smoke. So like those wisps and billowing things. So it's quite... atmospheric.
Yeah, you feel like someone's maybe just,
been to church.
Well, maybe they're selecting a new pope. You know.
Yeah.
Oh, that's Gary at number 33. He's just choosing a new pope. This is cool because it's cool. It's a cool smoke.
Yes. Cold smoke.
So part of Comme des Garçons' Two Man that's really fascinating is the snuffed out candle impression, and that is from an aldehyde, I believe.
Yes, it is. It is aldehyde C11.
Brilliant.
Woo.
I was going to say C12, but
you never know. You
never know.
Could have been. But the odd numbered aldehydes are the ones that tend to be a bit more candle wispy, rather than the kind of like fatty side.
Yeah.
So you get the kind of like candle smoke versus fatty, and this is C11. So, I mean, what I also really love in here, which is because this bottle's probably a bit old, so it's aged a bit, because there's not much left in there.
No, there's not.
There's almost like a Coca-Cola vibe.
There is a bit of a Coca-Cola
Coca-Cola vibe.
That is famously Coca-Cola Zero, I think. No,
Yeah.
Yes, there is, and there's also a really strong cedar thing.
Oh yeah, cedar vetiver,
Yeah.
mahogany, nice woody.
Yeah, like this is the smell of a very attractive man. Like,
I mean,
yeah.
that's why I wear it.
Sorry, I don't know if you heard me. I said very attractive man.
Well, it's terribly rude. I'm gonna storm off.
Well, this is because when I asked you which Pokemon you think I was, you said Pikachu.
That's
You were
basic.
calling me basic.
Yeah, but I then corrected myself and agreed that it was Bulbasaur.
I am Bulbasaur because Bulbasaur's like really sassy, and also he's got like a personality. His like little like vines that he like can listen to people with are representative of my personality, which is like very enrapturing and captures people's hearts.
Yeah, and I'm Snorlax
Yeah, you
because I'm just
Snorlax.
like chunky and like to sleep. It's quite straightforward, really.
Yeah. I'm Bulbasaur because I get into fights a lot, I think.
Just scrappy.
Yeah, I'm quite scrappy.
Yeah. Pokemon diversion. Not going to apologise for it, actually.
Never. Don't make us. So this is a really interesting essay in smoke because it's cold smoke, it's white smoke.
Yeah.
And you might smell it and not be like, immediately, this is smoky. But I
Yeah.
think it's a good one to start off with because...
Yes, because it's probably not as intense as any
No,
of the
it's
others.
light. It's light. But also, I think this is a good... If you are getting into fragrance...
Yeah.
And you want to try interesting, different fragrance that's quite wearable, then Comme des Garçons is a fantastic place to start with Two Man.
Yes. Oh my God, 2. I haven't worn it in ages, and it's just so fabulous. Every time I wear it, I just think, God, this is such a great fragrance. Just
Sidebar about 2, which I think is fascinating. Essential, who I write for.
Yeah.
Relationship disclosed, blah, blah, blah. They are celebrating their 20th birthday.
Yeah.
One of their best-selling products is Comme des Garçons 2.
Wow.
Yeah.
That surprises me,
That
but also
surprises
doesn't
me.
surprise. Like, the thing is, it's such an amazing fragrance, And I guess they're probably one of the few places you can get it consistently.
Yeah, probably. I would think so.
In the UK.
And online and easy.
Yeah. So that makes sense. But I'm also kind of surprised because it's not super commercial.
No, it's not even the most commercial of the Comme des Garçons. Comme des Garçons 2-man, I would say, is.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, yeah, Amazing Green and Black Pepper and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But I would say
of the originals. Earlies.
Earlies, yeah.
Yeah. Huh. Well, I like that sidebar. That's good information. That's satisfying information.
Thank you very much.
I'm glad people like it.
Would you like to do me a jingle?
Fascinating information.
I'm cutting that. I'm cutting all of these, and they're going to be going.
I'm just using it.
Yeah, I want to get one of those little soundboards so I can just press a button.
Oh, like they've gotten Trixie and Catches.
Yeah, on the Bold and the Beautiful.
Oh
which
my
I
god, I was so obsessed with them.
Yeah,
I obviously like and that.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, listen to our podcast and nobody else's.
Yeah.
So this is one I brought to the table. Because I like it. There you go. And that's what I'm going to say. No, this is Tea for Two by L'Artisan Parfumeur. We probably talked about this before, actually, but I like this because it is a smoky tea.
Yeah, it is lapsang.
It's lapsang smoky tea, but it's also quite sweet and like biscuity. And
it's fabulous because it's like gingerbread and lapsang.
Yeah.
So it kind of, the name makes sense, Tea for Two. Like you can imagine you're sitting down with some gingerbread biscuits and a cup of lapsang. And that's very nice, but it's also just really great, like combination.
Yeah, it works.
Who'd have known?
Yeah, and the smokiness is quite subtle, but it kind of plays with that savoury aspect of like the biscuity vibe and whatever honey thing that there is going on in the background.
It's very smooth.
It's so smooth
for a smoky fragrance because
so transparent.
Yeah, I love it. I haven't smelled this in ages. And
It's a good one. It's a good one.
Ugh, I miss it. We used to get. When I was at Pen and Us, and we used to get campaigns, bring it back all the time because like it would go in and out of production.
Really?
Well, yeah, because it was like, it was a cult favorite. You know, it wasn't like, oh, everyone's buying it.
Yeah. So I imagine whenever you bring it back, it sells really well, and then that trails off.
Yeah. Because people are like, I need my bottles, and so they'll buy 3 or 4 at a time, and then that's it. Pugsley's face. Sorry.
Yeah.
He's just looking very dejected.
That's because he's having to stand on my lap and I keep staring at him every time he looks like he's going to go scratch the door. Because it's the witching hour, folks. It's the witching hour. So Tea for Two represents smoke in an atypical way because it is the smoke from tea. It's subtle, it's transparent, and shows how smoke can play nicely with others.
Yes. No, I quite agree.
Yeah.
Very well put, actually, Thomas.
Thank you.
Very well put. 5-time Jasmine Award-winning.
Yes,
fragrance journalist. Thomas Dunkley.
That is me. I am a winner. Lol. Should we go for something like all like hairy balls out on the table?
Yeah, which is that one? This one?
No, that one.
That one?
No, the other
one.
The other one.
The blue one.
This one is like gorgeous, but damn, is it powerful?
Right. So I love to smell this. Get it away from me. At the same time, it's the weirdest thing where I'm like, it's magnetic and I'm so drawn to it, and yet I also am like, remove my arm.
Yeah. Should we tell the people what it is?
Yeah, it's Interlude Man
by Amouage.
Yeah.
And this is a vanilla bonfire. I think that's the best way to describe it.
It's literally like they've just set fire to all of the vanilla.
Yeah,
and it's fabulous.
Which is going to do nothing for the prices because I mean it's
difficult
difficult
enough to get hold of vanilla.
Yeah,
it's a scarcity problem. Yeah. And here we are setting it on fire on this bloody
podcast.
Oh, terrible!
If you can call it that.
Yeah.
So this is like really smoky, leathery, almost like also quite dusty, powdery as well.
There's it's weird because the like powdery sweet part that's there against that fiery smoke billowing off a bonfire thing. It's really like an interesting juxtaposition. Yeah. And that's why I want to keep smelling it because it's so like polarized in the different parts of it. It is, it's a bit of a one. He's giving you trouble there.
He is, he's wriggling. It's a mishmash. It's a mishmash of things, but actually they all overlap and they work very well together. The problem with this fragrance, well, I don't want to say the problem. The thing I find difficulty in wearing it is I love the vanilla bit. Like whenever I wear that, I get like loads of compliments. People go, oh, you smell like sweet and smoky. Because sweet and smoky goes very well together. There's a lot of overlap there.
Well, that's why barbecue sauce exists.
Well, exactly, indeed.
Yeah.
That's why it
Sweet
exists.
and
Yeah, just
smoky.
pour that into my mouth. But do not put barbecue sauce on a pizza. It's an abomination. I hate it. And
Why would anyone do that?
I don't know. I hate it. I don't like pizza that much anyway. I'm sorry. People think I'm weird because I don't like pizza that much. I'll eat it. I would say I identify as pizza ambivalent, you know?
Yeah, that's fair.
That's fair.
That's fair.
But if you put barbecue sauce on a pizza,
You're a monster.
You're a monster.
Pineapple,
Brilliant. Genius.
great, especially with chicken.
Yeah.
Actually,
I don't get people who moan about that,
Right.
but don't moan about barbecue sauce on pizza. I don't get it. I don't get it.
me neither. Is Italy would never.
Italy would never. But what is interesting about this fragrance is, for me, that I wear it. I love the vanilla bit, but like 3 hours in, I feel physically thirsty.
Yeah.
Because it goes so
It
dry.
starts to parch your throat.
Oh, it does.
Yeah, I think that's probably why I always want to like get away from it. It's a really problematic thing for me to like love the smell of it and want to smell it, but also not want to smell of it.
Yeah.
So it's that being said, go and smell it because
Yeah.
what an experience.
Yeah, and just wear it with a light hand because
Oh geez, yeah.
it does have the
people used to
half-life of
overspray it.
yeah, it has a half-life of enriched
Yeah.
uranium. It's like
Yeah. I can't imagine. I remember like wherever it was, somewhere of the internets, where someone was saying, "Oh, like 10 sprays of Interlude Man," and I thought, "Are you serious?"
no, that's a war crime.
Yeah.
You can't do that.
No, you'll change weather patterns.
You'll kill the bees. You can't do that.
You kill the bees. You kill the bees. You can.
You can't do that. It's irresponsible. You speed up climate change.
You will, but with a light hand.
With a light hand, no detrimental impact whatsoever. In fact, you'll just increase your sexiness.
You heard it here. You heard it here. Okay, well, like speaking on sexiness, I think that's a good segue into this, which I've now totally forgotten the name of. Gucci Guilty Absolute Pour Homme. It's a very long name. There's a lot going on.
Yeah, so this it came at an interesting time for Gucci. So I think we can agree that the guilty fragrances are crap. But then Alessandro Michele came over and took over the fashion at Gucci, and then also the fragrance side of things.
Yeah.
He clearly likes fragrance, clearly has a good nose for creative design in that respect. And this came out within the Gucci Guilty franchise, but is so different from anything
Yeah.
in that franchise at all. It's just it's alien
It's a
to it.
whole other beast.
I think we talked about it back on like it was either like season 2 or season 1. It must have been season 2.
I don't know. It's a couple of years ago because we would have talked about this on the Love to Smell YouTubes.
Oh my god, it's a while back. We have
That
talked
is
about
4
this
years.
before.
Yeah, it's been a while.
And this is a weird, this is weird for a mainstream launch from Gucci.
Yeah, absolutely.
I could not fathom this at the time that it came
No,
out.
it made no sense. Like a medicinal leather with a lot of smoke that is very raunchy, sexy.
Yeah, it's like, I think I said something like it was like sex in a hospital corridor because it's very phenolic.
Yeah.
It's like someone's been cleaning with some very strong like industrial detergent, and then there's just two people,
Having their way,
having their way,
wearing leathers.
wearing leathers, and the friction has caused a small fire.
Small fires breaking out.
The problem was they were wearing Interlude Man prior to it, and they were just both too dry.
Oh, no.
So this actually, I think it's kind of like a Woody Vetiver at heart,
Yeah.
isn't it? And then
the Vetiver has a really nice character in
yeah,
here.
and then it's like smoky, but it's a cold smoke again, medicinal smoke.
Yeah.
It doesn't make you think of fires, to be honest. It makes you think of
No, an extinguished fire.
yeah, like it's smoldering. Schmolders.
Schmolders. That's very nice word. I like that word. Oh, what a good word.
Yeah.
Oh, what's a good word? Smolder. I don't know what's wrong, but like I'm feeling very hysterical today.
I'm very tired this week. We are recording on the week of the US election, which currently still has not been called.
Yeah, and
It's Thursday.
and it has been.
Is it Thursday? It is
Yeah,
Thursday.
it's bonfire night,
Yeah,
which
I
is a
stayed
very
up-
good reason to be recording this episode.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's bonfire night. Yeah.
Oh, that should have been the lead in.
Yeah, and that should have been the lead in. Damn it. Oh yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, so it's the 5th of November we're recording this.
Yes,
I
remember blowing up Parliament.
I'd just like to, just as a disclaimer, say that we will not be involved in any sedition.
Okay.
Just for the disclaimer for the podcast.
Yeah. We can actually do it.
Yeah, so I stayed up until like 4 o'clock on Tuesday and I
Yeah.
haven't recovered. So this
No,
is
I'm-
probably just the rantings of a madman.
There's been a very intense project for me this week as well. On
Okay.
top of all of that craziness that's
Yeah.
happening. So very little sleep, massive hysteria. Forgot
Yeah.
to eat for 3 days, pretty much.
That's not
What a
good.
stupid person.
Stupid idiot.
Stupid.
Idiot. Get off my podcast.
It happens.
It happens.
It is
Yeah.
what it is. Yeah.
So let's sum up on that one before we move on to the next one.
Okay, yeah.
Because I feel like we just went off on a
we
tangent.
Absolutely got lost. So, yeah, that kind of clean medicinal,
Yeah.
surgically clean.
Yeah. Honestly, yeah. They've scrubbed and they're ready to go to
They've
theatre.
scrubbed down the dark room.
Yeah.
They're
Well, they're gonna have to.
gonna have to.
Yeah.
I mean, you wouldn't.
No, you wouldn't want to.
The embers of a fire, so like a very cold smoke the next day, kind of thing, and then some shagging.
Yeah.
I think that sums up the smell of it.
Yeah, go for that. That's I can't top that. Somebody already did.
Boom.
So
Okay.
next up is Rien.
Yeah.
Rhiannon.
Rihanna.
It's Rien Intense Incense. I'm sure you probably say Encense, but
I don't.
I
I mean, like you would,
yeah.
but I
From
don't know because
Etat, Libre.
they've written it in English.
They have
Incense.
actually, haven't they?
They're not Encense.
They
So
haven't. It's
it
intense.
is intense incense, but
That's just a bit of a jumble, isn't it?
it's a bit of an hard one to get out your mouth.
Yeah, Rien Intense Incense. Right. So this is from Etat Libre. Rien was a fragrance which was kind of like a good, well, kind of a funky fragrance in the sense that it was very smoky, very
Yeah.
tarry, very leathery,
But
and
also
animalic.
leathery and animalic. Yeah.
Yeah, kind of like civety-ish.
Yeah.
And the idea was that, you know, when people would ask you what you're wearing, you'd say, oh, nothing. But
Yeah.
it's like, you reek. You literally reek
Yeah.
of stuff.
Yeah.
So this is like, they made it more
Ever
intense.
such a good joke. I'm still sold on the Paris Hilton joke of just me, calling a perfume just me. So when people ask, this was in the press release, when people ask, you can say, oh, it's just me.
Oh, that's genius.
I love it more than any, like,
Yeah.
good for her.
Yeah. Big
for
fan of Paris. Big fan of Paris. She's a very good DJ.
Yeah.
I don't know that. I just know that she DJs and I wanted to say something. This is really animalic smoky.
I mean, this is the KD kind of smoke to me. It's just too much. It's just too much.
Is it too much, Nick?
I think it's too much.
Yeah.
I'm not crazy about it, but it's sure interesting to smell. And what I get more of is this kind of like smoke, fire, leathery thing, and I don't get the incense part.
Okay.
So sure, it's probably in there, but it just feels very very domineering. It's very leather daddy, I believe.
Yeah, I think it makes me think of sort of that old parable. I can't remember who said it, but it was that too much of something is bad enough. But something's coming over me right now to make me wonder, whether too much of nothing is just as tough. What do you think, Nick?
I think the Spice Girls are really great.
I think it was the wise sage Jerry Halliwell who once said,
Ginger Spice, who once said,
"Épice."
"Oh my goodness." Yeah. No.
Delirious with delirious. Yeah, I agree with all that you said, and I was listening, and I wasn't googling Spice Girls lyrics.
You were.
Yeah, I feel like I don't get too much of the incense either. I get the animalic leather. For me, it just feels like Rihanna, but more. And I
Yeah.
think if I probably had Rihanna, I'd have brought that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's
But yeah, because I prefer Rihanna, but neither of us have it
yeah,
because I don't think it's the kind of thing either of us would wear.
yeah. I don't even know how I have that, to be honest.
Who knows? It just turned up.
It just appeared.
Just turned up.
A strange man left it on my doorstep. He's called the postman.
Pat.
Pat. Not Postman Pat. We can agree Postman Pat is not a very good postman. Honest to God.
What's he doing all the time? He's never doing the post.
I am not going to lie. I grew up in a small village and my postman was called Pat.
Shut.
He was called Pat. And he was like really funny and he would come and talk to you all the time at the door and he would make jokes at you. And I can't remember what those are, but he would.
Was his cat with him?
No, he didn't have a cat. He was just called Pat.
Oh. Wow.
There we go.
I mean, how does one respond to that with, that's ridiculous?
Yeah.
But I believe it. Because it sounds like a fact.
We also had some builders at my house once and one of them wasn't called Bob.
Bobbery.
Yeah.
Bobbery the Buildery. Yeah. And a fireman turned up one time.
Yeah, and his name was Brian. Yes, so we move on now. I think, so we kind of displayed the different kinds of smoke. And I think really this episode is more about not to learn about smoky fragrances, but just if you are someone who wants a smoky fragrance, to give you some suggestions.
Yeah, and actually something that's really great that you should smell, which does fit into that kind of like nichey, leathery, smoke on fire, oh my God, crazy, is Lone Star Memories by Tower, but we didn't have any.
We didn't have any.
No.
There are restrictions. There is a lockdown currently, so you know
just a little bit.
we can't be everywhere and everything.
All right.
All right. So the last
doing
one.
our best.
Tell us about the last one, Nick.
So, well, this I don't know much about it. You brought it.
That's why I asked you.
So this is the new Comme des Garçons called Rouge.
Rouge, yes. So
Yeah.
this is currently on Dover Street Market, I think, but launching later nationwide.
Yeah, Dover Street Market and Comme des Garçons
Yeah.
retail stores worldwide, and then will come out later.
Yeah.
apparently.
So
That's what it said on the Dover Street Market.
It's an essay in the colour red.
Yeah.
So fascinatingly, you've got fruit notes, you've got pink peppercorn, and then at the heart is a beetroot note.
Yeah.
Don't worry about scaring the horses. It's actually very wearably done.
Yeah.
It's kind of earthy, fresh, a little bit radish-like, I think, quite
Yeah,
fresh in
yeah.
that salady way, if that's
Yeah.
a way to describe anything.
I guess it is.
It is because you
But-
just did it.
Yeah, but there's also like a fruity aspect.
Yeah,
which is kind of like
massively
a rhubarb geranium.
Yeah.
And then underneath all of that is the smoky bit that's happening.
It's such a transformative fragrance because it starts
Yeah, the dry down is amazing.
it starts like fruity, spicy, earthy, sweet. And then as like suddenly out of nowhere you realize you're wearing a completely different perfume.
Yeah.
And you're wearing this kind of very fresh mineral take on leather smoke.
Yeah.
And it has a heft to it actually in the base. It goes a bit tarry, but it doesn't hit my ceiling of tar.
No, I feel like it's just right.
Yeah, it's not in there to the hilt. It's just kind of it's
To
just
the hilt.
it's just kind of, you know,
Hilt.
it's just the tip.
I gotta show you something later. It's text messages.
Okay, fine. Okay. I'm getting worried when a man says that to me.
Yeah.
This is beautifully done.
Yeah.
I will go on record now. Thomas Dunkley, the Candy Perfume Boy, winner of 5 Jasmine Awards. I have to say that. There was a hilarious thing at my wedding where that came up in everybody's speeches because I told them to put it in. Anyway.
Hilarious to you.
I don't care if anyone else is laughing. Anyway, I'm going to like to go on record and say Comme des Garçons is a great brand.
Yes.
I personally prefer the fragrances that come in the pebble bottles. That is not to say I do not think there is stuff that is not interesting in the series. I think all the series are like Avignon and things, some great fragrances.
Oh, yeah.
But in terms of what I wear, I probably rotate those like pebbles like Amazing Green, Black Pepper, Blue Encens, Two Man, Wonderwood even sometimes.
Yeah, Wonderwood's great.
I even do a bit of Wonderwood. The original Comme des Garçons. A little bit of Copper is my thing recently.
I don't like copper.
No, do you not? It's Immortelle.
Immortelle.
Yeah. I wear those really quite regularly, and I
Yeah.
think they're a fantastic brand. And I think people give them a bit of shit, and I don't like that.
I mean, I, for one, have long been a Comme des Garçons fan, so I quite agree. And this is, I love it. I love it.
It's brilliant. I think
Yeah.
I'm going to go on record again. So Thomas Dunkley, the Candy Perfume Boy, winner of 5 Jasmine Awards, would like to say that this is probably one of my favourite launches this year, if not my favourite.
Yeah, probably is one of mine as well. Sorry, I'm trying to. I hope no one thinks you're being serious.
God, can you imagine the people listening to it going, this arrogant piece of crap? Everyone knows it's 4.5 because he shares one with Nick.
Yeah. yes.
Yeah.
For this.
For
Somehow.
this. Somehow.
Somehow.
Yeah.
Somehow we got people not only to listen to it, but to think it was great.
Don't know what happened there.
Don't know what happened.
Don't know what happened
We're
there.
just two fools.
Yeah.
Gab it on.
So this, I'm going to have a very short list of my loves this year because there's been less launches.
Well, yeah. I mean, actually, it's quite refreshing to me that there have been many fewer launches, much less. I don't know what
There have not been as many.
there haven't been as many launches this year.
Yeah.
It's quite nice.
Yeah, it's quite nice. You can see
Easier to keep up.
You can keep up, but this has absolutely blown me away.
I think it's fabulous. I love it, and I can understand why people wouldn't. Though.
Yeah. Oh, but that is the sign of a good perfume, I
Yeah.
think, is if it's divisive. And I love this because it takes you on a journey, and that journey is from day to night. I really feel like I can take you from day to night. No, I'm kidding. I'm just going to say that in every single episode going forward. It really could take you from day to night.
It sure could.
I put this on, immediately went, ooh, that's fascinating.
Yeah.
And I kept going to Nigel, my husband, who finds me very annoying. This is really interesting. Blah, 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 blah. This beetroot thing, I thought it was going to be too much, too earthy, and it's going to be like a bit kind of geosmin, like horrible.
Oh. Sorry. I just thought about beetroot.
Yeah.
Loewe? Is that how you pronounce it? They've done a bunch of candles, and one of theirs is a beetroot.
Oh, intrigued.
Yeah.
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 Okay.
I mean, I'm into the idea if this is the beetroot that we experience from perfumery.
Yes. Can I finish my thought now?
Yeah, sorry. Just thought I'd butt in.
No, fine.
And
butt away. So I was wearing it. I was going, oh, this is developing nice. And then I was like, why am I wearing a completely different fragrance?
Yeah.
I'm like wearing this fresh, fruity, spicy, earthy beetroot thing is now a smoky leather.
Yeah.
I feel like it got me on false pretenses to begin with, but I'm into it. I'm into it in a big way. So I think this is a really like fascinating take on smoke.
Yeah.
Because it's
unexpected. It's not there up top.
It's not there up top.
It's absolutely not. And I mean, I sprayed it on earlier, and I think this is one of those fragrances where the journey, in inverted commas, is absolutely worth it.
Totally agree. Yeah. I agree.
Great, lovely. So smoke's a bit of a challenging one.
Yeah,
it's hard. I think the difficulty is that finding a way to do it that doesn't feel alarming.
Yeah,
because smoke is a warning mostly, right? So yeah, you might have like a lovely log fire burning or something like that, but typically if something's on fire, the reptilian part of your brain, the basic part of your brain goes,
that's the only part I've got. I've only got the reptile part.
Just addled.
Yeah. Is Bulbasaur a reptile? Yeah, she is, isn't it?
Yes.
Kind of.
Yeah. Makes total sense actually. This selection.
Yeah, it's like an alarming thing, and also I think that there was a shock tactic of like, let's make something unpleasant, and because if you make something so unpleasant, it's distinct.
Yeah,
and I think a lot of brands did that because it was like, this is like an overdose of smoke. So actually, it's like really interesting, but that's a kind of an idea that doesn't stay interesting for very long.
Yeah.
And I've smelled so many. I just literally, if I get sent one that's like a smoky, like overdose, smoky, tarry cave thing, I'm not even going to bother with it. I just throw it away and go, that's horrible.
There's another one that I can't remember the name of now. It's one of the Naomi Goodsir ones, and I really wish we had it. That's fabulous.
Really?
Yeah.
I need to try that brand a bit more because I've heard good things.
Yeah, I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head because there's
not
a bunch of them, and
it's not the Bakelite one, is it? The Bakelite one?
No, I think it might be Boiteses.
Okay. We don't know. We will never know. There's no possible way we could find out.
No, the internet doesn't even exist.
No, and I'm sure none of you would tell us.
But yeah, tell us about your favourite smoky fragrances. Which ones you like, where you think it's not too much.
Yeah.
Because we would like to also experience that.
Yes.
I think.
That's great.
Cool. Well, this has been fun.
Yeah, I'm just going to let you end it because
okay,
you're doing the endings now.
Okay, because I can't do an intro.
Yeah,
I literally flub it every time.
Yeah, you do.
What's wrong with me? Anyway, it has been a pleasure to talk to you once again here on Jonah Jerica. Oh. Anyway, that's a whole other... I just had a brain fart.
Okay.
You saw it happen in live
time. Yeah, that's fine. Because I think the dog just had an actual fart.
Okay. Yeah. Great. Lovely. And on that note, we will leave you and bid you adieu. Find us on the internet at Fume Chat and tell us what you like about smoke.
Yeah,
I think that's
and
about
like
it.
the details are in the bit that comes at the end with the music.
Oh, in the doofer, in the what's
Yeah,
it?
yeah.
The thing you
That's all.
re-recorded.
We don't need to really say it now.
Oh, good. Yeah, good. It's there.
Bye.
Bye.
It's Fume Chat, yeah, Fume Chat with Thomas and Nick. We talk perfume and fragrance.
Fume Chat is an all fiction production. You can find us on Instagram and Twitter at Fume Chat. We're also on Facebook as Fume Chat, and we have a website which is www.fumechat.com. Very often the products that we feature are products that have been sent to us by brands. We are never paid for any of our episodes. If we are paid, we will tell you because we're pretty nice like that and we'd like you to know. Sometimes the products are also things that we brought from home. Just enter into it with that expectation. Okay, thanks. Bye.
From Chanel number 5 to Angel and more. We're covering the famous scents that you're looking for. It's time for some fragrances. It's time to start the show. It's Fume Chat, yeah, Fume